All right. What was I saying?
We're talking about the trickle down of...
Yeah, the $400 trillion trickle down. Yeah, that's basically our reparations. I was like, and if we know how to access it, it's not limited to race right now, because they can. That's all the racist motherfuckers is grand people. Yeah, they had kids and then had grandkids and shit, and they racist shit. But those are the rooted motherfuckers. Most of them is adapting to black culture and then still being racist. That's not what they used to do. They used to be like, no, we do this and y'all adapt to us. Y'all start wearing suits to try to adapt to us. Now you got the dude in the ball cap rocking it sideways with putting braids in his hair that ain't sticking more than an hour, sagging pants, everything that he sees on TV as the image of what black is. I was like, so that's not part of the game for them. They wasn't banking on that happening. When they look back at history, that's all they've ever done though, is adapt to us and do whatever we was doing in the end anyways. And that's why it caused their downfall, because they tried it. Too many of us, if too many of them try to be like us, then they're going to want to try to be us. If they're going to try to be us, they're going to get with us and create them with somebody. So that's against their plan.
It goes to black culture being the center of everything.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
The whole, while we protested, I heard a saying that stuck with me so much. It's like why I got this shirt made is they want our rhythm but not our blues. Because it just makes so much sense. They want to walk like us, talk like us, be dark as us. We're going to get, the same lips that we were made fun of for having. Those same lips, the noses and, just everything it is that belongs to us. They won't, but somehow when it's on us, it isn't right. Like when they come out with I saw an article where they said it was the hip new trend, and I looked at it and it was a fucking do-rag. But it was whitewashed and named something different.
Right. Like it's brand new. Look what we came up with.
Like it's brand new. Like, you feel me? It was named something ridiculous. I'm gonna have to look it up after this, and it was ridiculous. Like it's a fucking do-rag. That's what it's called.
Right. It's like we've been rocking it. I had one on earlier.
A do-rag, of course.
Yeah,
of course. I mean, black men everywhere, we have our scarves and bonnets, and it's y'all got the stocking caps and do-rags. We have the stocking caps for the wigs, though.
Yeah. You usually see y'all in the stocking cap. If we do, it's trouble. I say that, it's trouble. It's trouble.
in the stocking cap. But where was your mind? We didn't really touch base during the protests. Did you physically get out? Did you ever get out and protest? Did you ever get out and see it?
Yes, I was delivering at the time.
Yeah.
So I had access to all down there. So there would be times I would go down there and I'm seeing what's going on. I'll get out, because of how my delivery. I may get out and I'm just like, this is for real. I observed it more so than where I'm just like, this is, and then
I was in it.
Yeah,
Let me tell you, I literally will never, ever, ever, as long as I'm living, as long as, God forbid, I don't get dementia or whatever, something to make me forget, I will never forget that. I will never forget it. In the beginning, it literally was such a beautiful thing because it was so many people. And we walked from, now when downtown and stuff got looted, because LMPD was so busy following us. That night we walked from downtown at the courthouse all the way to the Highlands. And then we realized we had to walk back because our cars is parked down there.
Right.
So we got to walk back, not even catch a lift. Like we called a ride. We were catching a ride to take us back to our cars. But downtown got looted that night, that very first night of looting, where it was downtown 4th Street Live, the jewelry stores, City Girl, you know what I'm saying, all that stuff that got looted. It got looted because they let that happen. And it was pissing me off. That was the first time I started going to Facebook jail, because them racist motherfuckers was in them comments and they was doing it the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? They doing it up. Y'all black, woo, Black Lives Matter, burn, loot, murder, blah, 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 you know, all the little BS that they was talking. It happened because the police let that happen. Instead of them doing their job, letting us have our right, instead of they all barricaded stopping us where we couldn't walk no more. That's why we had to disperse. Because they literally barricaded us in. There was nowhere else for us to go but the other way, and to go back the fuck where we came.
Right.
So then while they're trying to disperse us, though, it seemed like the entire police force, because it was a lot of police, and they kept moving in on us, you know what I mean, as they moved us back. They definitely could have stopped what was going on. That's why it happened for so long. That's why as much happened. Like the Tri-State jewelry store getting cleaned out. Come on now. Every piece of jewelry. They had time.
Yeah.
They had nothing but time.
Yeah.
So how is it that y'all mad at a group of people? Ain't none of this shit ours anyway.
Say it again.
None of this is ours anyway. So I don't give a fuck.
That's right.
About them looting any of those stores. That's what insurance is for.
And I've said before that I've heard people have asked me, like, why, like, okay, well, I get that the protests happen and everything, but why is there looting? Why are the looting going on? Where's the looting going on? And what a lot of people don't understand as well is that there's documented footage of, you can go back on my page and you can see all of that. And by the way, we're talking about the Breonna Taylor protest. There were people from out of town coming here.
Oh yeah. Out of town speculators.
Busting the windows out of these places.
Yes.
And then which then because this is, we're human beings. Our opportunists is in our nature to take advantage of something in nature that's gonna, make us better. So guess what? The windows is open. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna grab me a couple fish right quick. You know what I'm saying? It's open. It's open. It's open. I didn't open it. It wasn't me. Yeah. But it was open. That's just an opportunity.
Why would I not?
I feel like that's just a human thing. Like, wouldn't nobody be like, golly gee, let me call the police.
Let them tell
they know, because why? You know where the police is at right now.
Yeah.
The police is all busy with this protest, doing when they shouldn't be, but they all
because
occupied.
We were doing nothing wrong. What should have happened that night, instead of that looting, because they should have been doing their jobs and doing what it was that they were supposed to do. Hey.
What's going on, bro?
We're having a good conversation. You want to sit in on it?
Another black-tastic brother just entered the room, ladies and gentlemen.
You ready to come back in here? What should have happened that night was they should have let us walk, march until our feet fell off, chant until our voices was tired, do whatever it was, as long as we remained peaceful, in which we did. It was our right to peacefully assemble. There is no timestamp on your rights. There is no between. That's why the curfews is bullshit. Because there's no timestamps. You can do whatever you want. You're free. But between 9 p.m. and then 6 a.m., you're going to have to be in the house. No.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy. There's
and if you are, you better have this little card and say you are a worker.
Yeah, you gotta have a stamp. You gotta have a sticker. You gotta have a shirt.
It's like, I thought
to
this
say
was America.
you can be out here. You can't tell me when and where, what time, how to move, how to go. That's not okay. You're not supposed to be able, as a government agency, that's a form of dictatorship. You're not supposed to be able to tell us if we're really and truly in a democracy, which we know we ain't never been free for real anyway. Since we speaking up for us, because y'all sure didn't put no curfew when the white people came down there crying about haircuts with guns on the state capitol steps. If we touched them steps, they'd have shot us down. We wouldn't have never. They didn't do a thing. We wouldn't have never even had the opportunity to make it back to our families. They'd have killed us. They'd have slaughtered us like dogs. So it's a slap in the face. The way they handled us, I was gassed. I was hit with rubber bullets. I got like permanent bruises and stuff on my legs from that shit. The tear gas, that's something different. That stuff is something different. Like when that chokes you and the way it travels through the air, I was so mad. I remember being outside just screaming in tears, like the tears running down my face. And at that point, as we had moved away, it wasn't even necessarily the pain of the tear gas, because I had got covered with milk. So now I'm covered in milk, and now I'm pissed because I just realized what happened. Yeah. And now I'm so mad because I'm like, we wasn't even fucking doing nothing. Like now I'm mad. Like I ain't never had, you know what I mean? We chanted and all that shit, but I've seen people get pissed off enough to where they just having their outburst, and you just let them have that moment. And that time I had mine. I never had before. I've always seen people to where it's like they pissed and they go in there and you just listening to them and it's like, yeah, let it out. You know what I mean? Yeah. That moment was me, because how dare you funky motherfuckers. Like I was so mad because we literally wasn't doing shit. They asked us to disperse, so we sat on the ground. Everybody sat down. We sat down. I remember everybody sat down with their hands up. And they continued to ask us to disperse. We didn't move. Hundreds of people, everybody sitting down on the street. All of a sudden, we can't fucking breathe. We can't breathe. Coughing, choking, gagging. We gotta get up. We gotta move. We gotta run. Tears. Literally, you cannot catch your breath. You're gasping for air. Like every time you breathe in, it's strong. It hurts. It feels like you're inhaling a permanent marker. It hurts really bad. And after we got away and I had the medics, thank God. That's why I said, if our white allies, if you're going to be here, be here. We know most of the medical field is changing, it's flipping, but we know here in the most recent years, most of the medical field and stuff is y'all. We know that. So this was y'all time to show up, and they did. All of the ones essential. Like protests wouldn't have worked without the ones who was riding along, passing us water, snacks. You know what I'm saying? Some white people really and truly did show up. I had people show up in the forms of donations. And if that's what, digging your wallet. Any way you can. If you can't be out here on these streets, the next best thing for you to do as a white person is to dig in your wallet. Yeah. If you feel like you ain't gonna be out here lifting your voice, speaking out, if you want to be behind the scenes, whatever, then dig in your wallet and make a donation. Yeah, because we've been asking for, can you learn and can we teach you a little bit about it? We've been doing that for the longest. That ain't worked out. It's like everything is on. Like if you want to know our history, watch a series like Hidden Colors. Hell, watch all 5 of them. Watch Buck Breaking. You know what? Watch all of that. After I did the live with Stooges, I don't know if you ever caught that live. Yes, I did. Yes, ma'am. So basically, let me tell y'all the situation. The situation was, for me, I'm calling out all racist shit. And if you somewhere where I can get to you, and you say some racist shit online, as a business owner, she was upset because she had to close her restaurant. She had to close the bar early because of the curfew. And she said the post was along the lines of, I'm sorry that we have to close our doors because of the thugs protesting. We can't, be open. And so people, of course, are commenting, telling them why, they're protesting and you shouldn't call the protesters thugs and blah, 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 blah. So, of course, the post gets deleted, but no apology was posted. So the next day, we good. So the next day, I wore my Justice for Breonna Taylor shirt, and I went and showed up I ordered the food. I went live while I did it. The live video is still on my Facebook. I ate my food. You know what I'm saying? They had a little wing special. Wings was bomb. Ordered a couple of drinks. Got a little tip. Okay, so say what you just said again.
Damn, I forgot.
I'm rolling.
I speak from the heart. Why you just tell me that? Like, oh my God.
You was just, you said something along the lines of, the protesting, the way of people being heard. And what gets me about white people is they love quoting Dr. King. It's something about them and referencing everything we do to Dr. King that gets on my motherfucking nerves.
It's like, well, Martin Luther King was a part of, we love him. He's a part of the boule. He's a part of the boule.
Martin Luther King also said, riots are the voice of the unheard.
Yeah.
That's also what he said, right?
He said that too.
So don't forget that part. When y'all quoting Dr. King, quote him on that too.
Everything. Like, tell it all, as they say. Tell it all.
Dr. King died for it. Dr. King was murdered.
Yeah.
It's not that he died for it. It's not like he passed away peacefully in his bed.
Somebody assassinated this man.
Not even that, because when you dig deeper, he made it through the assassination.
And then what happened?
But he died from asphyxiation.
Oh, really?
At the hospital.
How did that happen?
He was smothered with a pillow.
By who?
That's why the government took responsibility for his death and paid his family out millions of dollars in a civil suit.
Really?
Dig deeper.
Oh, okay. All right.
So when they love to quote Dr. King, it's just funny because y'all murdered him.
Yeah, it's just fluff.
Y'all killed him. And y'all posted about Dr. King. I saw on, Martin Luther King's birthday that's celebrated on the 3rd Monday in January, but we know that's not his actual birthday. But it is celebrated and observed on that day. And of course, during the comments, happy birthday, Dr. King, and all of that hoofla. But the very next day, I don't remember exactly what happened, but the very next day, they was in the comments on their bullshit again.
Of course.
And I said, just yesterday, you sorry pieces of shit was quoting and posting about Dr. King. And then you turned around the next day and put your fucking hood back on.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, let me get my federal day off. That's why I didn't make a big deal about Juneteenth becoming a federal holiday, because I'm like, that just gives some white people the holiday off, a paid day off. They great pull up at McDonald's with the family with this little black girl working behind the register. So the black girl ain't gonna get off work because she gotta work because she ain't got no choice but to work. Yeah. But these white folks, Billy and them grade, they get to come off. I want the jump rope. I'm gonna get the Juneteenth shirt, Dad. Can I get the Juneteenth shirt, Dad? The shirt. Can I get the one with the fist, Dad? Dad, can I get the Juneteenth hat, Dad?
Yeah.
Can I rock it sideways, Dad?
Can I rock it?
I was like, oh, they got Juneteenth shoes, Dad. Can I get the Juneteenth shoes, Dad?
Do it like them.
Like, yeah, man, dude. Can I get that shirt, dude? Like that's what now Juneteenth. That's what it is now.
Yeah.
I was like, now you go see them going to get barbecue, doing everything. Now it's July 4th. I was like, we just gonna make it July 4th, Junior. We're gonna make it July 4th, but we're gonna make it black. We're gonna just culture appropriate the fuck out of y'all on this day and just make a mockery of it, like we do Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo to me shit to real Mexicans. They don't give a damn about no Cinco de Mayo. I was like, that's some American white people shit. They came up and was like, yeah, Cinco de Mayo, it's 5. It's 5. Get it? It's 5. I'm like, yeah, it's 5. Yeah. We're making it all day. It's 5.
Say it again.
Yeah, it's 5. It's 5. It's 5.
Some shit for us to steal,
like,
boy.
Oh, bro, it's 5, so we're going to go there.
You know what? You got to say to white people, you got to say, swipe or no swipe. Swipe or no swiping. Swiper, no swiping.
Oh man!
Because they asses will steal the fuck.
That was yeah. Oh, easy. I mean, everything here's the thing though. At what point do we stop giving this shit away? Because we so creative and we so genius. We come up with stuff on the fly.
Yeah.
We come up with stuff seasonally. We come up with what's popping, and then we be like, oh, that's not popping no more. This is what's popping. Then the culture follows us. So at what point do we lock it down and we say, hey, no? You know, we don't let them know the inner workings of how we do shit, because we can covert shit. We came up with the Underground Railroad.
Yeah.
We can be covert with how we, you know what I'm saying, do our culture. Whereas it's like, what are they really doing? What's black people really like? Where it's like, all black people, that's called getting on code with one another. You know, we steadily not getting on code with one another. We just kind of just out here. We end up doing our own thing. We don't trust one another, stuff like that. And that's, you know, right. That's a lot. You know, that's a lot of just extra. Like, it's called racial battle fatigue. This is real, like, science and stuff, psychological things behind, you know, racial battle fatigue, post-traumatic slave syndrome. You know, this is Joy DeGruy, Dr. Joy DeGruy come up with post-traumatic slave syndrome. It's like, this is stuff that's really going on with us on a daily basis, where we didn't get no, like, slavery ended and we start talking about the progression stuff we made within that 10 years. We became politicians, lawyers, doctors, and everything. We just, you know, expanded in education and all that, did the best that we ever did coming out of the country that first 10 years. And look at us now. You got us in the same, we in the same educational level, like we not progressing none at all. It's like, and it's because we don't claim nothing no more. It's like everybody's trying. We too busy trying to claim something else. You ask a black person if they black, or if you got curly hair.
Yeah.
What do you mix with? Are you black, or are you like mixed with something? It's like, how dare you? I was like, we've been running away from blackness, and even some of us, we can say when we was younger, would be like, I know a whole bunch of girls. No, I'm not black. I'm Indian. I'm Indian and black. Right, I'm Indian. You know, where it's like, why? First of all, yeah, we are the foundational black Americans. First of all, I was like, because there was black people here, and then they threw everybody in and classified them as Negro. You know, they got documents where they said that. So we the black people that was here before then. They only brought a few Africans here. Why? Because there's a whole bunch of black people already here. It's like, you know, so we need to start, you know, claim this is our land. We need to start acting like it. We need to start with, like, the trends we setting and everything. We need to start being covert. We need to come up with our own apps, our own form of communication with one another. And it's like all of this is the future technology. Technology's been moving fast for the longest time. You know, from the time we've been around to, we saw the cassette tape.
Yeah.
But then we immediately saw the CD player. We saw the VCR. Then we immediately saw the DVD. And then we saw the HD. Then we saw the big box TV.
House phone.
We saw the house phone.
And the first cell phone, the brick.
That's right. It's like we had the big box TV.
Yeah.
And all the way to the flat screen TV.
Yeah. So
we've seen this stuff zoom past technology wise. So that's just the first. It's probably our first 30 years. You know, you talk about the next. You talk about the next 30 years. You know what the technology is going to be. It's time for us now to start taking advantage of stuff, because our creativity and everything. We got plenty of people who's ready to do this stuff, who can do this stuff, who's more and fully capable of doing this stuff. It's about creating more opportunities for people, and that's one of the things that I set out to do. Because we are geniuses, you know what I'm saying? And we need to be able to be in environments where we can explore that and, you know, bring it to its full potential.